Good morning, everybody. It is the 12th of November. No, it's not. It's the 10th of November. Got my jacket on because even in Greece, it's getting a little bit chilly. Came back from Binance Blockchain Week in Istanbul last night. Absolutely brilliant. These events are always really good. It's always kind of surreal because we think back maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, it was just myself and some flyers trying to advertise something called Veriarty, which was digital NFT art platform, which no one even knew what an NFT was. And then OpenSea came out, and I was like, okay, well, that was a chance. But we recovered, we did something else, and now Vulcan Forged is born. So before I go into what I'm talking about today, for those who are new to Vulcan Forged, this is the first video. Just remind you, Vulcan Forged sort of basics of who we are. So Vulcan Forged really is, I guess we can divide this into sort of three elements. Really, we've got Vulcan Studios, which makes all the games you might have heard of, Vulcan Verse, Berserk, Tower Defense, Tartarus, all these other cool games. We've got Elysium now, which is our layer one, which is a layer one blockchain, which all PYR and lava, which is the gas, has moved to, and all our NFTs have moved to. And third is MetaScapes, which are the alpha is already released to some, but the main public alpha is released in December, which shall include 4 worlds: modern, fantasy, cartoon, and science fiction, I think. So that's going to be really, really good. So today, I just really want to sort of give an overview of where we're at. So obviously, I know the markets are doing well, and that puts the community in a really good spirit. And that's the reason we like it. Obviously, we've got a long way to go in terms of where we were a couple of years ago, but that's the least of our concerns. Really, 2023 was always about just reinvesting everything we had in terms of time and resources to build a foundation. And even though it may not seem like it, because I know Vulcan Forge is, got a bit of clout now. It's not a small company. It's pretty well known. We're still building the foundations of everything. So this year really was getting everything made. Getting all our games done, our blockchain up and running, the migration to Agora, moving from like the Vulcan market to like a decentralized NFT market for everything on Elysium. And I think we've done great. By the end of this year, nearly everything will be in playable state. Everything will be usable in terms of Elysium, NFT market. And that means we can spend the next year, which supposedly is some sort of, good year for markets, but who cares about that, right? Is when we sort of focus on onboarding marketing. So we kind of did things a little bit backwards, really. We sort of spent and sort of invested in our infrastructure in the bear, and now we'll spend the ball kind of bringing people in. So what updates do I have for you? Well, first of all, I want to sort of cover lava a little bit, because I think a lot of people are seeing PYR and lava and not really sure what they are. So just to clarify, PYR is our main settlement token. Everyone knows what it does. You buy NFTs with it, you stake with it, you upgrade land, and all sorts of gamified things. So lava is our secondary token. So this fuels the blockchain Elysium. So it's a bid in supply, and it's deflationary because it gets burned every time it uses the blockchain. So lava is probably, you're hearing about it recently because several exchanges are starting to integrate Elysium, which obviously means lava as well. And it just allows what we call the Vulcanomics to kind of come alive, really. Sort of what we thought was a bit of a mistake. I shouldn't say mistake, because they did an amazing job with Axie Infinity, was that lava was very much, not lava, SLP was sort of inflationary, kept going and going, there was no use case. So we've balanced out the two token system very well. So lava is needed, obviously, for upgrades, for blockchain gas, the biggest one, for swapping, for bridging. And so there is a need for it. So any sort of lava you earn in game, there is a need for it from someone else using something else. And the only way to get it is through PYR. So PYR being the cow, lava being the milk, PYR being the whatever, boom, boom. It's the supplier of lava. So yeah, PYR is really the gateway to lava. So we're very excited about that, because it really kind of puts us on the map, as it allows our Vulcanomics to come alive, as it were. So there's a real correlation now between users and value. The more users are on the blockchain, the more lava is needed. The more lava is needed, the more PYR is needed to generate it. So you see what I'm getting at there. So let's dive in a little bit to where we are with the games and such. So I'm just getting up the games here. So Vulcan Verse has seen a lot of development this year. We had fishing added. We had the new foraging system added. We obviously we've still got the gameplay, the quests. So the things we're really focusing on now are the two main things which are released imminently. The first of all is the Merchant, which is the first PvP trading game within Vulcan Verse. So the Philosophers, which is like our VIP channel, I've already gotten access to seeing that now. We're on track to get that released in December. So that's going to add a lot of PvP and sort of gameplay on top of the other stuff we have involved. And the other great thing we're having made in parallel is what's called event tooling. So right now you have like quests where you have to go somewhere, pick up something, fight someone, and do something, and you get some XP or lava. So now we're making the tools to allow us to add anything we want to that. So now every day, not every day, every week we can say, oh, now you must visit X plot, forage X materials, and do this for today's daily quest. So that allows us more flexibility. So it's all about tooling, really, for us to sort of create dynamic quests, gameplay, things in VulcanVerse. And now, once we've got that tooling, and the next step is we give it to you guys so you can make your own quest. And I think create your own quest is something which just allows infinite possibilities. We also have PvP coming. We've got the gods and titans. We've got the buffs. We've got a new fighting system. There's an enormous GDD for VulcanVerse. And I know I keep saying we're going to share it, but there seems to be some sort of, not tension, but disagreement about how much we should share online, because you're basically sharing your entire gameplay strategy to competitors, although I'm not so worried about it, but we will get as much out as we can on that. In terms of user base, it's been incredible. We've had the most users influx ever since we've been launching. I'm looking at a few hundred a day are coming in, signing up and playing games, which is great. I think one of the main reasons for that has been Berserk. That's our tradable CCG. So I could like Hearthstone, Gods Unchained, that kind of thing. Season 4 has been really, really good. It's been stable. It's been consistent. It's brought more players in than any other season. We didn't get the influx from influencers we really wanted to this season. It was very hard, I'll be honest with you, to get game streamers to give tutorials or streams on a crypto game. There's still that kind of weird sort of taboo, I suppose, of crypto games and game streamers. But slowly but surely, we're getting all the audience we need for that. Vulcan Runner, again, update coming, I think it was released last week. Lava will be integrated in that. We've got lots of mobile games which are already very usable. And I think we've now developed, last week actually, we've developed a marketing strategy to just focus on these side games. For example, Vulcan's Creed, the one with the bow and arrow. Tower Defense, Vulcan Runner. These are incredibly addictive, usable games which give you experience. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be running separate marketing campaigns for these. We might create separate Twitter accounts for each game. We're not sure, but really it was just getting them all stable this year and getting ready to go. The mobile gaming market is obviously huge. Google have said they're allowing NFTs to be integrated. So I think avoiding or ignoring the mobile market would be very silly to do, and so we're not. And the other thing, which obviously we're taking care of, is the VR side of things. So there are two games we've got which are VR compliant. First is Tartarus. Now, Tartarus is actually already released. Again, you can play it on your PC and you can play it on the Oculus Quest 2. And I believe the latest release, if it's not even announced to you, allows you to use the NFTs you've already got. So some of you might have some Phalanx NFTs, some have some weapon NFTs. They're usable in Tartarus. But again, we're doing pushes for these games. When, one by one of those, you're just overwhelmed by each game as it goes. So I am happy to sort of announce that we are going on the Quest store. And I do believe, and I'm probably wrong, but it's a nice belief, I think we are the first NFT game ever to be on the MetaQuest store, which is huge. And I've no idea how that's going to take up, because the game itself is actually quite good. You put your VR headset on, you're slashing demons, you're making XP. Now incorporate NFTs in there. You've got something quite magical. So I'm very, very excited about that. Vulcan Rogue, what was it called? And Vulcan Arena. There's a better name for it. I forgot what we've even called it. That's been released in December. So people thought we forgot about Troy and Elysium Plains, these two amazing worlds, which are originally going to be like extensions of VulcanVerse, where you could build more land on Troy, build more land in Elysium. But now these are going to be worlds. Vulcan Royale, that's what it's called. So this is basically a medieval Fortnite game, which already looks amazing. And we've been working on that already, because people are saying, when Troy? We wanted to sort of like keep that as a surprise. But now it's got to the stage where we're only a month away from its release. You're seeing teasers of it being released. And of course, that being VR compatible, even better. So yeah, really, it's just been a case of by December this year, 2023, we wanted all our games, totally playable, NFT integrated. Elysium has been a major milestone. Took far longer than we thought. We announced it last year, the Vulcan in Athens. We thought it was going to be like, a few weeks, few months. It's not. I mean, creating a whole blockchain. We've also got an Elysium swap, a DEX. We've got a launch pad. We've got the bridge. We had to integrate Elysium into various exchanges. So it's been, and then migrate all the NFTs onto Elysium. It's been longer than we thought, but again, it's all there, it's all done. The only thing really lacking from Elysium now is everything on Agora, which is the Elysium NFT marketplace. We've got Vulcan Market and you've got Agora, which is anyone's NFT. So we're now migrating Vulcan Market to Agora, and then it's only the launch pad to go in terms of products there. So we're excited. I think hundreds of thousands of transactions have gone through already on Elysium. Exchanges integrating it is massive, not just for Lava, but also to allow people to sort of avoid any PYR bridging. So the tools, as I just mentioned from Elysium, we've got the Cloud Wallet done, Elysium Bridge is done, Elysium Scan is up there, Elysium Swap is done, the NFT minting is done and all available. And the important thing is we really want to start to push the narrative. And I think this is where we've gone wrong a little bit. Well, not wrong, but because it wasn't really ready. But we really haven't pushed the fact that PYR, Vulcan Forged, is a layer one in itself. You've got some great layer ones out there. Solana, Avalanche, mine's gone blank. There are lots, but Elysium is fast, it's cheap, and we've got a load of products onboarding. I can tell you now that we've got a big company joining with 50 games. Some of these games have 50 million downloads, and they're choosing Elysium to come on, which is just huge. Got Hexagonos joining, Crystals of Fate, Vendetta. I mean, I can't remember the list, but we've got 10 to 20 games coming to Elysium. I know Hustle are relaunching with us, and Verse are coming on. I can't remember. We've got lots of projects coming to Elysium, which is great. But the important thing is we're now trying to get the Web 2 games to tokenize their assets and NFTs onto Elysium, because these games already have communities. So that's really our target. It's great having new projects coming to choose Elysium, but they've still got that whole process of launching, getting their fundraising, selling NFTs. It's really hard for them, not for us. We enjoy the transactions, but I think we are trying to target the Web 2 games to kind of move onto Web 3. So yeah, I know I said I'm going to have a few sort of leaks for you today. Well, what can I say to give you some excitement? Well, Lava is obviously going to be doing the rounds, and I think that's what was quite obvious that exchanges integrating Elysium, that does mean one thing. The merchant is on track for December. We've got the Chirima level 4 Vulcanite coming up. I've got a little list of things here. Let me see what I've got. I think I wrote a few things from when I'm looking for that. Just tell you, yeah, the Binance talk was interesting, because the questions were far more different. Like, what is Web3? What is Web3 gaming and blockchain? It was more like, how do you approach marketing from a Web3 standpoint, or how do you make a killer app? And they made me think, and I think after being 5 years in this industry now, 5 years, because I started in Web2 gaming, and then we had Veriarty and Block Babies. I saw the whole metaverse hype. It's very interesting. I'm still under the belief that trying to compete with Web 2, or trying to think that the Web 2 gamers are going to come to Web 3 is I don't know. It's a bit of a myth. I think people are still happy to pay to play games, and I think Web 2 you're competing with a market which is just, it's got their demographic. Otherwise, the likes of World of Warcraft, Minecraft, all these games would integrate NFTs already. Web 3, we've got to really use the benefits of what blockchain gives. Public metadata that all Web3 games can take off it, trading, earning after you use enough experience, transparency, I guess cross collaboration between different games using NFTs on the blockchain, the main thing. So embrace the Web3 part of gaming, as opposed to try and compete and poach people from Web 2. So a few other things we've got coming. New level 2 Vulcanite, that was out. Razorbeak, that's sold out completely, which is great. Shows there's still demand with the NFTs utilities. We've got the Chirima coming out. MetaScapes, of course. So MetaScapes is looking really, really good now. So again, MetaScapes, we had to sort of build from the foundation up again to allow things to be added upon it. If you don't know already, it's basically Minecraft, Roblox on blockchain. So you can create your world as big as you want. in 4 different themes, which will be ready in December. And then you can sort of pay to activate various games on your plot. Like if you want Metaball on there, then you burn lava, and then people can enter a lava pool to play Metaball. And the whole idea is basically to monetize the creativity. Play to earn, bit of a fad. It works if it's sustainable and there's some gameplay integration involved in the play to earn. But the idea of monetizing your creations and vanity, that's what the key of MetaScapes is. Minecraft is absolutely huge and you don't earn by what you made. Now imagine making this incredible Minecraft or MetaScapes plot and you spend some money and upgrading the assets and blah, blah, blah. Someone else sees that and then they, oh, wow, I want to add this plot of cartoon land they've made to my land of cartoon land. Then you sell the NFT. And it's an enormous revenue share model. We've made a case where the more you upgrade your assets in Metascapes, the more percentage you get when people buy these assets off the marketplace. There's also going to be something cool, which I mentioned on the last stream, which is a little bit breaky uppy, with something called the chalices. That's it, the chalices: gold chalices, silver chalices, bronze chalices. If you own one of these chalices, then you take a percentage of every upgrade someone does on a Metascape asset. So let's imagine you've got a Forge Elysium node. Let's imagine you've got a chalice and Metascapes. Let's imagine you upgrade all your assets. Then you're taking percentage from all Elysium marketplace fees. You're taking percentages from upgrades of lava. You're taking percentages of Metascape sales. So it really is revenue share. So everything's been designed to make sure the more users there are, more everyone wins. And I think that's key. And it really was a case of the last few years. Let's be honest, we threw so much stuff at a wall to see what would stick. And now we're kind of fine-tuning and realizing, okay, so this play to earn simply doesn't work on its own without sort of use case of secondary token. Vulcan Verse needs more gameplay. Berserk is a banger and just needs more marketing. Mobile game market is huge and there to be dominated. Metascapes just takes everything we've learned over the 5 years in terms of economy and outreach, vanity, creativity, and puts it in one place. So yeah, overall, the idea simply is spend the next 2 months making some really good releases. We've got some really good releases coming in terms of Vulcan Verse and Metascapes and some other games. Tartarus I'm very excited for. And then when it hits January, everything's there. Then it's a case of like, right, okay, we've got 12, 13 products, which are good products. They're good games. It's a good blockchain. It's a good metaverse maker. We're known pretty much across the space in terms of blockchain gaming and the metaverse industry. Now it's a case of showing what we've got. Don't forget, at the beginning, we didn't have any VCs. So we had the likes of Decentraland and Sandbox. They had a lot of backing, so they could get that real sort of vocal support. We haven't got that. We spent all our money, literally not all our money, but we spent most of our money this year literally building, reinvesting everything from the bull market back into this year, into the bear market. So now next year, we're here. We're ready to go. We've got the games, we've got Metascapes, we've got the blockchain. Now it's a case of getting more users. And if everything is designed where more users equals more value, then everybody's a winner. So I think that's it. I'm off to Singapore next week to talk with the Mooch on stage at Salt. So I haven't got much time in Greece, but it's exciting. Everything's going well. And I think people will remember who built in the bear and who's allowed to brag in the bull. And that's, I believe, going to be us. So I wish you all happy days. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm here, for the next few days on Discord and everything. I'm sure I missed out something. I knew there was some sort of leak I wanted to give you guys in this talk. Oh, well, you'll have to join Discord to get the insights. Much love, much peace for John, and exciting.